Joining me right now is the chief economist of Wisdomtree. He is Wharton School finance professor emeritus, Jeremy Siegel. Jeremy, it's great to talk with you this weekend. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you, Maria. Happy to be here.
And once again, we saw record highs this week for the major averages. You wrote a book a long time ago, Stocks for the Long Run, and have been bullish and right on this market. What did you take away from the market performance and from the Federal Reserve's comments on the state of the economy right now?
Well, I think the market wants rate cuts. I think the short-term Fed funds rate should be lower. I actually think it should be around 3.25%, and I think we should get there, by early 2026. So this is a beginning. It's a cautious beginning. I might have preferred maybe a 50 basis point cut, but we are beginning that cycle. Maria, the short-term rate should be below the long-term rate. We have the 10-year fluctuating between 4 and 4.25. Which, if you go through history, the Fed funds rate's usually about 100 basis points under that. That would put that at 3 to 3.25. And right now, we're still above, even with this cut, 4%. So I do think we have a distance to go, but I'm glad we're getting there.
So let's talk about that, because Stephen Miron, who, of course, was placed on the Federal Reserve, President Trump's nominated person, he dissented, the only one who dissented 25 basis points, because he wanted a bigger cut. He wanted 50 basis points. That was the only dissenter. What are your thoughts on that and on the fact that Christopher Waller, who is a candidate for the chairman of the Fed, actually did not, and he voted for 25 basis points?
Yeah, I mean, that surprised me. I mean, right away, that he went for 25, and he was considered a top candidate. I mean, obviously, we have, Warsh also, but I mean, that he only went for 25 when clearly President Trump wants a 50. Does that put him out of the running as one of the others? It's Kevin Hassett, and there's Chris Waller,
right.
and then Kevin Warsh are usually given the three most important. I think, I think Waller is excellent. And I think Warsh is excellent. And I think that all three of those picks I think are excellent there. But I am wondering whether Trump might have second thoughts now with him going at a very cautious pace, when obviously Trump wants a more aggressive pace by the Fed.
Interesting. Let me switch gears to Bitcoin and crypto, because you wrote a great op-ed about this. And, you've been sounding the alarm over cryptocurrency, saying that Bitcoin could tank the U.S. dollar and its global power and become a competitor to the dollar as the world's reserve currency. This is such an important discussion, particularly as we're watching the dollar trade lower. What's your worry here, Jeremy?
Well, I think tank is, a little bit too strong. I don't think the dollar is, going to not be the reserve currency.
Right.
But, Bitcoin has risen dramatically. And I think a lot of it is the stodginess and over-regulation of our banking system. The fact is that, you have to make transfers on Monday through Friday between, 10 a.m. and 3 p.m. And, that hasn't changed for 50 years. And the lack of innovation, the high transactions costs, the 3% fees to merchants, the high wiring costs, all that is I think has contributed to the rise of Bitcoin and the alternative coins there. And, I really, blame the overregulation of the government, the Fed for not encouraging 24/7 transfers internationally and domestically. They have just gone into a hole and really not supported innovation. But the private market has come up there and said, hey, you know what? We're going to invent an alternative money here that has much better characteristics. And as I said, I'm not saying it's, certainly going to topple the dollar or there's a dollar crisis. But, certainly I think as time goes on, we're going to see reserves of central banks begin to go into Bitcoin, just like they still hold gold from, as they have for hundreds of years, but as an alternative.
All right, we will leave it there. Jeremy, it's great to have you. And let me just fully disclose, Wisdomtree, your firm, my husband works there, is the CEO of Wisdomtree. Thank you so much, Jeremy. Jeremy Siegel joining us.
Thank you, Maria.